What's going on, everybody? Day of Reckoning. What did you think about it? Did it live up to the hype? Was it what you wanted it to be? Let me know. Let's talk about it now. I didn't see all of the fights, man. I had a situation that happened with my charger. Man, if you want to hear that story, man, I'll tell you in another video. Yeah. But anyway, so I had to go to Best Buy. Best Buy is crazy right now around the holiday season. So I had to go to Best Buy. Took me a while to get a charger. And then I had to come back home and check out the fight. So I missed a bunch of them. So we're going to talk about some of the ones that I did see. And then you fill in the ones for me that I missed and let me know from your perspective. Ooh, where do we want to start? Where do you want to start? Let's start Opetaia versus Ellis Zorro. It was what I expected that fight to be. I didn't expect that fight to last long. Now, there were some people in the comments, going crazy at me saying, Akeem, Zorro is going to work this guy. Zorro is much better than you think. I'm not saying Zorro is not a good fighter, but I don't see him being better than the last opponent that Opetaia fought in Thompson. I thought Zorro and Thompson are kind of in the same ballpark. I just feel like they didn't have enough. Opetaia, that left hand was dangerous. Vicious, knockout of the year candidate, right? It was vicious. And when you saw Zorro's eyes looking up, you're like, this guy's unconscious right now. Like, it was a crazy hit. But it also goes to show, man, Opetaia is not playing no games right now. As I said in the breakdown of the video, I thought he was going to come into the fight a little bit more forceful and sit down on his punches a little bit more because he felt like, they did wrong by me. They took my belt from me. I didn't lose the belt. I had to vacate the belt. So I expected him to come in with that type of flair, that type of confidence, that type of belief, and that type of skill. Opetaia, man, in my opinion, you can let me know, I think he's the best cruiserweight in boxing today. I would love to see him next, obviously, another shot for his title. I know Breedis and Zerda are about to fight for that, but we'll see what happens from there. But if he can't get that fight right away, I would love to see him against Richard Riakpo. I think that would be a great fight as well, too. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. What did you think of Opetaia's performance? But again, Opetaia, in my opinion, best cruiserweight in boxing today. Let's move forward. Hrgovic stops the Mori. I mean, it's what you expected. If Hrgovic could not have stopped the Mori within 3-4 rounds, I said within 6 because I was trying to be generous. I expected it to end the way it did. I mean, at 41 years old, he's been in too many wars, too many fights. And Hrgovic is just all around better, right? All around better at this stage in his career. Even at the height of the Mori, Hrgovic is just better. And that's no disrespect to the Mori at all. But you see talent, you see skill, you see levels. And Hrgovic was just levels above. So it's good that he was able to get the stoppage and got it out the way as soon and as quickly as possible. Shout out to him. So I actually missed those fights. I saw the highlights. But, if a fight ended in the first round, like there's really not much to say anyway, right? So shout out to those men. I missed this fight. Daniel Dubois versus Big Baby Jerrell Miller. I want you guys to let me know a little bit more about this fight because I missed it. When I came through the door, man, the fight was over with, but I saw some of the highlights. So I can't give my 2 cents on what exactly happened and what exactly saw. So I'm going to give it from a different perspective, though, because as I said in the video, when we did the breakdown of this video, I said Daniel Dubois does everything better than Big Baby Jerrell Miller. He does everything better. He's faster. Right? He's more technically sound. I think he's a bigger puncher. His footwork is bigger, better. He does everything better than Jarrell. Like, he does everything better. And I said that. But I said, man, Dubois' last 2 fights were a little bit shaky. From a mental standpoint, you questioned, man, like against Kevin Lorena, we saw the knees he took, and a bunch of those knees, he took it on his own. We saw what happened with Usyk and how a jab dropped him and he could have got up and he chose not to. So you just question the mental toughness. And I thought Jarrell was going to be able to take advantage of that. But when he came in 339 pounds, I was like, bro, what is going on? Were you training? Right? What type of, you weren't taking your training very seriously to be coming in that big. I know you thought you were going to walk forward and trying to be the imposing guy and impose your frame, but I'm like, bro, you can't be coming in like that. Right? And so it was good for Dubois to get the win and to close out the show how he did, even though it was 11 seconds that I heard that the ref stopped the fight. I mean, the ref could have made him get that 11 seconds, man. It's only 11 seconds, unless it was very bad. Again, I need you to fill in the gap because I didn't see the full fight. But it was probably Dubois' biggest win from a mental standpoint. Oh, he needed that win. You saw the smile and the joy and the happiness on him after the fight because he knew he needed that win. And he was able to shut up Jerrell Miller and come out on top and get back into the winning column. If Dubois would have lost that fight, woo, that would have been a little tragic. But again, I didn't see the fight, just giving it from a different perspective. So I need you guys to fill in the gaps in the comment section below. Let's move forward. Dmitry Bivol, unanimous decision over Lyndon Arthur. When I did a breakdown for this video, man, there was a lot of people saying, man, Bivol is going to stop this guy. He's going to stop Lyndon Arthur. There were some that, agreed kind of what I said. It wasn't the fact that I think Bivol couldn't stop Lyndon Arthur. I just felt like, look, one of the things, and I tweeted this, if you're not following me on Twitter, underdog AKH, one of the things about Dmitry Bivol, man, that makes him so good and such a monster is his discipline, right? Like, he's not a greedy guy, and he's so technically sound that he doesn't make a whole lot of mistakes. But he's disciplined enough to know when he's in trouble, he's going to back out. And when he needs to press forward, he's going to press forward. But he's also so disciplined that he doesn't always take a lot of risks. And he's not always going to let his hands go when he's in close because he's worried about what could come back at him. And so you had moments in that fight. I mean, he came out of the gates stepping forward. Dmitry Bivol, I tweeted this as well too. I said, man, Dmitry Bivol is looking like he's trying to get a stoppage today. And it looked like he was trying to get that stoppage until there was like a lull in the fight where he kind of just got a little complacent and just accepted what the situation was. He beat up Lyndon Arthur for 12 rounds, knocked him down in the 11th. He beat him up every single round. It was a dang near shutout, right? Beat him up every single round. It was a shutout. Let me correct myself. It was a shutout. But when he needed to take that risk, he just didn't do it, man. And if he would have just let his hands go completely, there were times when he did, but you could also see, even in his footwork, he had 1 foot in, 1 foot out, 1 foot in, 1 foot out. And I just don't think he completely committed to get into that stoppage, and it went the distance. So, that one kind of played out how I thought it would. Let's move forward, man. Deontay Wilder versus Joseph Parker. Joseph Parker comes out on top. Before we touch on Joseph Parker's performance, Deontay Wilder. I've been supporting my man for quite some time. And even when I'm making the breakdown video, man, I took away my bias. If you've been watching the video, watching the channel, I leave my biasness at home. Even if I like a person, I keep it straight, shoot it down the middle. I said in the video when we did the breakdown, I said Joseph Parker is an all-around better boxer than Deontay Wilder. He moves better. He's more technically sound, puts together better combinations. But I said the only thing for me that we've proven to see is Deontay Wilder just needs one punch, and that one punch could be enough to close out the show. One punch knocked down Tyson Fury, didn't get him out of there, but it knocked him down, knocked out a bunch of different guys. Louis King Kong Ortiz, he was losing that fight, and the eraser helped him out. But this fight, I don't know what version of Deontay Wilder that was, man. He was very passive. He was hesitant. He was moving laterally, left and right, but he wasn't using the jab much. He wasn't letting his hands go. It wasn't really doing a whole lot. He was just moving. In that whole fight, to me personally, I felt like Bronze Bomber fought one round with confidence, like one round, and that was the last round when we saw him let his hands go a little bit more. but he just didn't have it. Like, he just didn't do anything. And yeah, it was just a very interesting fight, because I'm not surprised by Joseph Parker winning. If you watch the breakdown, I said we shouldn't be surprised by Joseph Parker winning the fight, but I was surprised at how bad Deontay Wilder looked in that fight. Was it the age? He's 38 years old now. Was it the inactivity? Like, what do you think was it? I think it's an accumulation of all of those things. And even listening to the post-fight interview, man, it sounds like he might be done. It sounds like it could be over with for him. Like, it sounds like he's done. Like, retirement is near, and I'm not mad at it if that's the choice that he decides to make. A lot of people don't like the Bronze Bomber, but I like him. I think Bronze Bomber, during his time, right, he gives the people what they want, and that's knockout, regardless of who he's facing. But this version of Deontay Wilder, man, he doesn't have a whole lot left. This version of Deontay Wilder doesn't beat a whole lot of people. And I'm a Deontay Wilder guy. I like Bronze Bomber, Bomb Squad. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, this was just not it, man. This version is not it. Joseph Parker, man, what a great performance. He stayed disciplined, stuck to his game plan, right? Used his jab when he needed to. What he did, the smartest thing in that fight, was start looping his shots in. Did you see that looping right hand that he hit Bronze Bomber with? Bronze Bomber looked like he was kind of like, he was so surprised that he got hit like that it looked like he just froze in his stance. I was like, yo, it could be over with. Joseph Parker, man, he did his thing. He fought a great fight. He let his hands go when he needed to. He was not intimidated. He strategically came in and fought Deontay Wilder with strategy, poise, and discipline. It was a great win for him, and probably the best win of his career, because of all Deontay Wilder has accomplished in the resume. He was able to make it kind of look like easy work, man. I mean, it was one-sided whole time. It was one-sided. And Deontay Wilder lost so many rounds towards the end of the fight. I wasn't sure why he was holding his hand up, because it just wasn't, he didn't win that fight. Like, it wasn't even really close. So this makes things a lot more interesting for Joseph Parker, because, this version of Joe Parker, I think, would have beat Joe Joyce. So now this puts him in a better position, because it's like, man, AJ was supposed to fight Deontay Wilder if both of these men lost. So now that Deontay Wilder is not going to get that fight, does Joseph Parker move up and take that fight? Very good performance from Joseph Parker, man. He did his thing, confident, and he just fought a very smart tactical fight. And he did a smart thing, because if he would have went in when he had him hurt and with his chin up, man, he might have got countered. But he knew what Deontay could do and respected it, but it didn't give him too much respect, where he could not impose his will and his skill, man. So shout out to Joe Parker, man. Very great fight, man. You did your thing. Now, let's close it out with Anthony Joshua, Otto Wallin. Leading up to this fight, man, I saw a much more focused, dialed in, locked in Anthony Joshua. And you didn't know what was going to be expected because of the new trainer, a new environment, all these different things. AJ's had a lot of different coaches during the time. So we didn't really know what exactly he was going to look like, but he's fought a couple times already. It's always a good thing when you're active. So now we were going to see, well, how he was going to fare. Otto Wallin is a good jab. We know Otto Wallin fought Tyson Fury in a tough fight. We know what Otto Wallin could do. But leading up to it, man, you saw a much more confident Anthony Joshua. You saw a more strategic and tactical Anthony Joshua. Like, in that fight, it looked like AJ could do whatever he wanted to do whenever he wanted to do it. He was coming forward with confidence. He wasn't forcing the fight. He was loose. He was ready. He was going to the body early. He did some stuff that I didn't know AJ actually had that skill set. He looped in a shot and knuckled his head and looped it in. I'm like, yo, when did you get that? Some of the footwork and some of the subtle angle changes that AJ did, I was just like, man, Ben Davison got this man right. He went back into the lab and tweaked and fixed some things. We know AJ can punch. He's always going to be a puncher. He's got that natural, God-given. But this was a very good performance because every single thing that he did, you could see was planned. It was strategic. It was tactical. It was efficient. And he was very accurate tonight. This version of AJ gives a lot of heavyweights in the division problems. And so I hope this is the AJ that we get to see moving forward, man, because AJ is a big draw wherever he goes. But now this makes things a little bit more interesting. What happens to Tyson Fury and Alexander Usyk? If Usyk wins that fight, I don't want to see no trilogy between him and AJ. I don't want to see it. But if Tyson Fury wins that fight, well, now you have Tyson Fury, Anthony Joshua in the UK. That's a massive fight. And it's a possible fight. Why? Because AJ won and did his thing. And he's a big name and a big draw. Great performance from AJ, man. I was actually very impressed with the full package that he displayed in this fight. So let me know your thoughts on this whole card. What did you think? Please be my eyes and my ears on the fights that I missed. Fill me in the comment section below. Who would you like to see these guys up against next? Let me know what was the highlight of the performance for you. Let me know in the comment section below. And shout out to everybody that came to tune in to the Bleacher Report post-fight reaction, man. We had a bunch of people in there, man. I appreciate each of you because some of you were over in the UK. Brother Francisco, thank you for tuning in. Man, you got it's late over there. So I appreciate each of you for taking the time, man. I appreciate each of your support. Probably won't talk to you guys until Tuesday. I have a video coming out after this, but happy holidays to each of you, man. God bless each of you. I hope you're able to spend time with the family, get something warm in your stomach, some desserts, some cookies, right? And just remember, man, always take time to be grateful. There is always something to be grateful for. And even in the toughest of times, we can get through the darkest of times if we know where to look, if we know where to put our focus. And we can always find something to be grateful for, so we focus on that. God bless each of you. Happy holidays and much love. I appreciate you, and we'll see you soon.